Hi kids, it's Bunny back with another junk journal, and this one is a travel journal, and I haven't really named it. I'll probably think of a name when I list it, but it has an elephant brooch on it and a picture, vintage picture reproduction, and it's hardback and has a pretty cloth on it, and it's held together with this purple satiny ribbon. And since it's a travel journal, I thought you might want to take it with you on your travels, and so you want to take it without the fancy bow, and so I added a little way to close it on the road with just a little string there through some holes. Oh, before I show it to you, let me show you. You also get 2 miniature journals with this, which I don't put inside the journal because they make it too fat, but I'll show you inside one of them. And they're just like the big one. They have miniature ephemera and pockets and little, here's a pocket. Where's the pocket? There's a pocket. Pocket's got little things in it, so they're cute little journals, so you'll enjoy them. But going to the main one, opening it up, adjusting the camera, and as you can see, we have a lace pocket on the inside cover, and inside of that is a journaling card. All journaling cards are blank on the back for journaling. The tags are also blank on the back for journaling. And here is a postcard, Eiffel Tower, and in this envelope it's sealed. Inside is a little letter to whoever buys the journal, telling them what a junk journal is and how they can use it. And I've put pictures of vintage travel posters throughout that are very pretty. Excuse me. And in this tuck we have vintage postcard, which was used, let's see, 1954. And here is a tag, blank on the back for journaling. We have lots of little clusters and things throughout. This is a page from a vintage book. And here's a doily. Here's something from a vintage French menu. I believe it's French. And here is some vellum with a pretty picture of a flower on it. I should put a little bit more. Okay, just a little. Here is something in Chinese or Japanese. I can't tell the difference, I'm sorry. And here is a page from a vintage Indian, as in India, 1944 book published during the war with news in it for the Indian populace. This is a vintage sheet music, and here is a little flip out envelope. I need to pull out a little more, don't I? Okay, and inside of it is a journaling card and a vintage photograph, 1950. This is in Burma. And in here, it should have been in there, is a vintage Swiss Air ticket from, I'm not sure if it has, I don't think it has a year. It has December 3rd, but it doesn't have a year, but it's probably the 50s or 60s. Here is a page from a vintage cruise line manual advertisement. This is a big side pocket. I did a little texture paste here and watercolored it. I'm not sure I like it or not, but there it is. And inside the big pocket is a big journaling card and some vintage like stamps of world flags. And this is a letter from 1945 from someone, a soldier, to his wife, a love letter, and it's very sweet. You can read that. And moving on, this is also from a vintage book. This is an envelope that I wrapped around the page to make pockets, and it's a journaling card. And here is a what do you call it? Anyway, an envelope, and inside is a actually two tobacco trading cards. Excuse me. And I have some, I believe, poetry from Tennyson on here. Here is another journaling card and a ticket, vintage ticket. And this is a page, more vintage book pages, vellum, pretty vellum with a flower. More of the menu. And in this tuck, there's a vintage photograph. Looks like grandma and granddaughter on vacation somewhere. And a tag and a little envelope. Inside of it, you could see through it. It's got some tickets in it. And this is another more travel posters, reproductions. In this pocket here is this pretty bunch of flowers that you can write on the back of. More vintage book pages, more vintage sheet music. We have a vintage photograph in this little bag here. And this is from a vintage book. There's some journaling cards and a tag. And this belly band, there's a nice cabinet photo. I don't know what year, but it looks like someone getting ready for her first communion or something like that. And here's the center is an ad from an old magazine, and it has a vintage handkerchief, and embroidered on it, it says Mother. And going on, we have the flip out and journaling card, another picture from Burma. Here's another vintage photograph. I feel like I took too much time with the little books, and I'm running out of time for the big one. Here is a journaling card. And more sheet music. And a Swissair ticket made into a pocket. Excuse me. Journaling card, tag, and a little itty bitty teeny weeny envelope, and it's got little itty bitty teeny weeny stuff inside, so you'll have to check it out. More travel posters, journaling card, and a tag, and another little envelope. Inside of it is another tobacco collector's card, trading card. More sheet music, journaling card, and this is SS Nordic Cruise events of the day, and I believe it's 1949. And it tells what things are going on that day on the ship. More vellum. Sorry I'm going so fast, but the clock is ticking. Here's another big side envelope. Inside of it is a big journaling card and the Roosevelt menu, 1926 menu from the Roosevelt restaurant. And these are a bunch of picture cards from Colombia that one buys and sends at home. And that's probably from the 40s or 50s. And here is a little door that you untie, and inside is a vintage button card, more vellum, another flip out with a French cartoon and a journaling card, and more travel posters. And here's a journaling card and a tag and another envelope. Inside of it is a calling card, vintage calling card. And we have more vintage book pages. This is a vintage 1953 postcard. And protected travel funds, American Express traveler's checks ad, and a little ticket, vintage, of course. And in this bag is, there's nothing. I'll put something in there. Eek, magic for me. Okay, that's more music. Here's another flip out with a journaling card and a vintage photograph from Burma. I'm sorry, I'm not holding it into the camera, am I? And here's another vintage photograph and a journaling card, and a tag. See how much time we have left. 2:44. And this is from a vintage 1926, I believe, yearbook. Here's some more travel ephemera. And this has another vintage tobacco trading card. And here is the vintage photograph and a ticket, agent stub. Here's a little suitcase that flips down and shows the journaling card with a little bee behind it. And finally, another vintage photograph. Vintage ephemera, and we get to the back. We have a little bit of embroidery and a tag, and I believe a ticket and more, another collector's card, trader card. So that's it. That's the journal. Sorry it was so quick, but I hope you like it and come to my shop, Mimosa Morn Journals on Etsy. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.